start this cooking vlog off. So I feel like recently we've been moving away from the whole fact that this is a college cooking vlog, guys. I want to teach you guys how to cook in college, whether you have 15 minutes, whether you have an hour, whether you have zero time at all and you cooked all of your meals on Sunday just so that you could eat throughout the week, so you don't have to go through that crappy dining hall food. Everybody knows what I'm talking about if you lived in a college dorm. But I thought we'd start off a kind of multiple part series for the next couple weeks in the cooking vlogs on kind of your basic cooking necessities, skills, techniques, stuff like that, just to get you started, to kick you off down this path of becoming a culinary master, guys. I started off cooking my freshman year in high school, or freshman year in college, sorry. And since then it kind of spiraled. I started my freshman year, I did have a dining hall meal plan thing, and it was so gross. I think I ate at the dining hall like 8 times, and I basically cooked and wasted the $1,000 or whatever it costs for a meal plan at the school. So I'm going to go ahead and walk you guys through. This vlog will be kind of the major utensils you need to start off like a basic cooking setup. Now I have a lot of weird things like the sous vide, and I like cast iron and stuff like that I'll be using throughout the cooking vlog, but we're going to stick to these main ones as things you should kind of start to pick up if you want to jump into the whole cooking scene, and then some tips and stuff on how to use them. So first we'll start off with your basic. You're going to need a pot and you're going to need a pan. Now you're going to need your basic sauce pot right here. I got this one at Target, I think for like 20 bucks. Make sure you get a decent one. The heavier the bottom, the better it is. So if you see here, this has a very thick rim. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it has a very thick bottom. And then it's also non-stick. It doesn't have to be non-stick, but this one happens to be. And then also, if you can get one with these, with the kind of colander gratings on the lid. I don't know if you guys can see that, but there's little holes right here. So basically, you can fill it up with water, and then you can strain it in the same pot. That's really useful. I didn't even know this existed until I found it at Target, but it's a cool idea and definitely comes in handy, and then you don't have to pick up a colander separately. Another great thing to have is a non-stick pan, guys. This one's got me through a lot of stuff, and as long as you're good to them, they'll keep their non-stick coating. Only use plastic on these things, or wood. Don't use any metal, otherwise you'll scratch the surface and it'll lose its non-stick ability. But yeah, just a standard pan here. You can cook burgers, you can cook eggs, you can cook grilled cheeses, you can do a lot. Saute stuff. Like, this thing is like the workhorse of the kitchen, along with your saucepan with the whole pasta and rice and stocks and stews and soups and other things you can cook with that. So those are going to be your two main like holding containers. So we'll get these out of the way. Now we'll focus on kind of the things you need to put into those, to get food into those things. I always like to start off with my knives, because my knives are probably my favorite things in the kitchen. These are the 2 knives I started out with when I started college cooking back freshman year. I got these both at Target. I love Target, shopping at Target, guys. This is not a Target sponsorship. But these are both Chicago culinary things. They came with cool little sheaths that hold the knives. I got a Santoku, which is this kind of like all-purpose general chef's knife, which is great. And then I also got this kind of utility paring knife right here, which is also a really great knife. These are both kind of like the 2 knives you'll need in your kitchen. The Santoku will be good for like chopping and dicing and all that basic deboning chicken, all that fun stuff. It's a very heavy, strong knife that you can, as long as you keep a nice edge on, will be good. And then you got your paring / utility knife. It's good for slicing your smaller vegetables. You can go ahead and slice through stuff like that. Also, like paring, like peeling things like potatoes and stuff like that. This is a great knife to do that. A little tip and trick, guys, for sharpening your knives. A lot of people, they use their steel, which is kind of like that long stick that comes with some knife sets, and they'll go ahead and they'll sharpen their knives on them. Well, all that does is it just kind of deburrs it and takes the edge away, but it doesn't actually sharpen your knives. If you want to sharpen your knives, I like to use the bottom of a bowl, a ceramic bowl, or like a ceramic cup, like a coffee cup. And if you just go ahead and run your knife along the edge a couple times, do that like once a week or twice a week if you use your knives every week. That will rehone your edge and give you a really sharp edge. It's a lot like using Japanese sharpening stones on them, which is kind of great. And keeps your knives really sharp. As long as you keep your knife sharp, guys, they will last you a really long time. That also helps with the sheaths and stuff like that. Prevents them from knocking around in the drawers. But the sheaths aren't necessary. Don't spend more than like $20 on your set of knives. I think this one was $15 and this one was like $10. Like, don't spend a crazy amount of money on your starter knives. They don't need to be that expensive and nice. Now, to keep your knives nice and sharp, you're going to want to go ahead and get one of these, or a set of both. These came together in like a handle. These are your cutting boards. They're going to keep your knife sharp. Instead of cutting on this table, using a malleable surface like a cutting board will prevent your knives from getting dull. I like to have a wooden one and a plastic one. The plastic one I use only for meat, guys, because the meat doesn't seep into the cutting board. And then I like to use the wooden one for any vegetables, anything else that's not meat goes on here. But like fish, chicken, steak, all goes to the plastic cutting board, guys, because it's going to help you not get like really gross cutting boards. But take good care of these guys and they will last you forever. You don't need massive ones. They sell ones that are like this big, but you're only cooking for yourself or maybe like your girlfriend or your best friend or whatever like that. So just get a small one. You don't need to go crazy about that. So we'll get rid of these. Now we'll go into utensils. Important things that I think you need just to have in your kitchen. They're pretty basic, but I think they help a lot. So you have your basic spatula, guys. You can slide under things. You can flip your pancakes. I have a pancake addiction. All that fun stuff. This is a workhorse in your kitchen. Make sure these are all plastic if you want to use them on your non-stick pans so you don't like scratch it all up. Now a slotted spoon. This is very important. This you can like get bacon bits out of. You can scoop things. You can get pasta out of water. This is like a very important tool to have in your kitchen. Plus it's just good for generic stirring. Now these are my favorite things in the entire kitchen probably besides my knives. These are a pair of silicone tipped, These are a pair of silicone tipped tongs. So you can flip chicken over, you can flip steak over, you can saute vegetables, and it's cool because it has a locking mechanism. So you can also stir things with it. It basically just becomes like the workhorse. It extends your arm so you can reach into like hot cast iron and flip steaks over and stuff like that, which you normally can't do without burning yourself. And I love the fact that they're silicone tipped instead of metal tipped because then you can use them on non-stick pans and stuff like that. Honestly, any kitchen that doesn't have a pair of these drives me nuts because I use them basically for everything I cook with. My mom's kitchen doesn't have these. And every time I go there, I'm like, Mom, you need a pair of tongs because I literally use them for everything. Such a useful tool. Then we'll go ahead and grab a silicone spatula. These things are awesome for basically any time you need to like scrape the edge of something to really get a lot out of your pan. Making like scrambled eggs and you want to get the edges, or like an omelet, or you want to get everything, a little bit of a sauce out of a bowl, you can go ahead and scoop it. Make sure they're silicone, guys. That gives them that like flexible ability, which is really awesome. And then I think the last thing you need in your kitchen for utensils is a can opener. I didn't always have a can opener in my thing, and I would always buy cans, and then I'd be like, crap, I need a can opener, and then I need to go hunt down another like person that cooks in college to find a can opener. But you can pick one of these up from like Publix, Walmart, anything like that for like $3. You don't need one of those fancy ones, just get one of these cheap ones. And that would be like if you ever get beans or something without one of those pull tops, these come in very handy. Now the last thing on my basic college cooking utensils and utility list is this thing right here. Now this is a food processor. I use this all the time, whether it's like mixing sauces, whether it's like grinding up herbs and veggies and whatever. It's like an insanely good, and I just broke it, but it's an insanely good utensil to have in the kitchen. You can go ahead and you can use this as a container because it comes with a lid. You can lock this up and put your sauces in the refrigerator and stuff like that. It is great, guys. Now, all of this stuff doesn't need to be picked up all at once. Start off with just your pots, pans, and like a basic knife. You don't even need to get 2 knives. Some cutting boards. These things probably cost you like $2. Your entire setup shouldn't cost you more than like 50 bucks, I'm thinking. Just start off small and like collect things. You don't need a food processor to start off with, but hey, it's 20 bucks from Target. You get paid one week, you go pick one up. Like, go ahead and collect this stuff, guys. Start off with just a pan. Like, you could probably work a lot of stuff with just this pan and like a spatula and make it work. So go ahead and start off small, work your way up. You don't need to jump into all of this crazy stuff that I have, that I cook with, but I will try to keep the rest of these cooking vlogs to be a little bit more basic stuff that you can do in your generic kitchen that you would have in college. I kept all this stuff just under my bed in my dorm, and it's still lasting me 2 years later. Everything is basically looks brand new. Just take good care of it, guys, and it'll last you forever. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and close this college cooking vlog off. Part 1 of the basics cooking series. Make sure you guys tune in next week when we go over kind of like your basic recipe, spices, and how to shop and stuff like that. We're going to be going through kind of your basic, like your preparation. And then I think the last cooking vlog will be me and you just kind of chilling. We'll walk you through how to make like a really basic recipe, and I'll just throw out some tips and tricks that I use in my generic like cooking process. So make sure you guys send good vibes out in the world, and I hope you guys all have a delicious day, and I will see you guys in tomorrow's short film.